All right, so let's see what I hear. Let's see what we got here in the pre-market. I mean, pre-market after hours. This is something I kind of want to explain to you guys, when or girls too. Whenever I use and early in the mornings, sure thing. So whenever right now, if I come in every morning and I'm ready to look for something, I usually come into my pre-market. I use Weevil for everything. It's my main everything. Like alerts, who I need to look for, how I need to look for, and any kind of thing specifically for any type of ticker. It's based on experience. It's based on experience, and it's based on pretty much of what I have witnessed throughout my time being in the market. So what I'm trying to say is, whenever I'm looking throughout a ticker and BIP trade chat, I'm usually looking at based on candles, volume. And what I mean by volume is 100K, 200K, 300K, because 300K is the start of pre-market. It can end up into 1 million, probably 800K, 700K in the end of the day. So what I'm saying is the volume picks up and it refreshes every single day by candle of every day. So what I'm saying is the daily candle updates, you get a new candle. So as soon as as soon as market open starts, you will get a new candle of daily. So the new daily is just gonna go boom. So for example, let's just click a random ticker and let's go here to daily. And give me 1 second because I want to make sure that I do not lose you guys. So my phone is okay. Okay, so for example, we're on daily time frame, which is daily here. If you go here, this is an everyday candle. So everyday candle, you're gonna get one candle, and it's gonna start printing at 8:30 in the morning Central Time for me. So it's gonna be Central Time, and as soon as that Central Time starts, as market open starts, you get a new candle for daily. So meaning that whatever happens in pre-market after hours, you will not count that the print. So what I'm trying to say is those where the gaps are created. If this thing runs pre-market and it just runs off, because remember, after hours closes when 3:30 p.m. Central Time, my time. So when after hour closes, the print stops for daily. It completely stops there. So when it stops completely, for the daily time frame of printing, whatever action happens after hours and pre-market does not count towards the print in the chart. So you won't see this action here in the daily time frame, but you will be able to see it in the 4 hours. So for example, look, you see this is around 641. So if I go to daily here, you're gonna notice that this candle is not showing that it ran 641. You see where it's at? 563. It's not showing that it's at 641. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that action that happens after hours pre-market does not count towards the daily, weekly, and especially monthly and so on. Actually, weekly, I think it does show. Yeah, weekly does, just not daily. Because what happens is when weekly opens on Monday, it usually shows a huge ass candle. Uh, I don't even know why I cussed there. Okay, it shows a big candle. Sorry about that word. So it shows a big candle. Okay, so it shows a big candle, and then that candle um produces like opportunity where it can continue next day. So for now, this action is not shown in the daily. It's just shown in the 4 hours, which is you're gonna show the action. So if we go into a lower time frame, let's see where it takes us at. Where there's action, it was weak. This is weak action. There's not even no example. Let's see if we can go to a different one that we can kind of notice that there was action at least after hours. Is this pre-market or we're watching after hours? Okay, there is after hours. Did you move after hours with some action? Okay, good example here. You're gonna notice this is market opens as soon as it turns dark right here at this line. You're gonna notice 16, that's 3 p.m. Let me enter this person here. So you're gonna notice that when it's turned dark, that's after hours. So this action, you're gonna see it right now, right? Where did it close here? You're gonna see that it closed at 8:44. Where did it ran? 11:11. When did it run that 11:11? It ran it when after hours. So if I were to show you daily here, you're going to see that ticker, you see 9:10, it never ran the night the 11:11 in the daily chart. So guess what happens? Whatever happens tomorrow as well, it will not count towards the daily chart. So what happens is whenever the market opens, if it opens whatever price you see here, that's what counts as market opens after the market it's open. So what I'm saying is if the price opens here at 11:11, which is let's see right here, we're gonna stop right there. You see where it stopped? Look, that's a huge gap. Where do you see that gap at? You see just one, right? But that gap never real becomes an ungap. Like there's going to be a filled gap. So meaning that if this thing were to market opens and then it's at 11:11 and you see this huge gap here in the screenshot at daily, and you like, you know, you're seeing a pre-market and you're like a pre-market, you're like, man, 11:11 is up all the way here. But last time that it closed yesterday was here. I'm not going to mess with that because that's pre-market too much of a gap for you to fall what into a easily fade. That what it needs to do is you see this red, it becomes red, 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 and it goes into a fade to when? To probably comes down to a 840, 780 until it fills at least this half of this retracement. Let me add this person here into where this retracement here that becomes the fade throughout the day, right? Because if it opens here, this becomes the fade, the way down to fill that gap. So long story short is whenever you see premier action, never get too hyped. If you know that it's in a gap, just let it go. Let it do its thing. Don't, you know, be smart about that. Like let it just do its action. And so letting do its action is that you're waiting for a better action. The market opens because you want to see the upper candles. You don't want to see no one sitting so much of a top of pre-market. You want someone to be like, yesterday it closed at 3:30. Today it's at 3:32, 3:34 with a 15 minutes reset and a 4 hours bullish. So that's giving the opportunity that that thing could run a continuation candle. Because if it closed 3:30 and it's at 3:30 next day, it can go from 3:30, 3:35, 3:40. Continue its candle incline throughout the day, but based on the daily candle, has market opens, and then market opens. Some tickers have after hours action. Other tickers don't move throughout after hours or pre-market. Some tickers do, based on what volume, volatility, how much movement they have throughout day. You're going to notice that some tickers are really pretty much dead throughout the whole year. I mean, throughout the whole day. And some tickers are just moving up and down. They go up, they flush the next day, and then they go up, then they flush the next day, or they probably flush, and then they go up the next day. They're pretty much in a channel. So what I'm trying to say is they're not flushing, they're not fading, or they're not showing weakness. They're just in a channel where eventually every single channel becomes what? A bigger demand. If people are accumulating that demand and based on the demand of the float, so what I'm trying to explain is that demand is kind of starts being picked up on whoever is winning, which is buyers, right? So if it's holding a price and you start seeing buyers filled based on the momentum of 4 hours reset, you're going to have to know that 4 hours reset can potentially bring the ticker back up into what the higher of bullish demand. If it's on heat, you're going to know that the demand is going to be into a bearish demand. So what I'm saying is, long story short, I'm gonna show you here a picture, and so I can kind of explain to you guys because it's going to be a little hard time. So okay, so pretty much the tickers today. Let's go back to OCGN. Why would this ticker call today? And it was called 8:30. And why would I mention it that it was going to be, bullish, and it was going to run today for that action? And it was a perfectly, caller, right? I did it, 8:30. Hey, I'm on average here because this thing can run at least $9. It's sitting at 870. So it's about 50 cents, even more profit. But overall, the whole point of this is because, look, we're looking at the daily candle. You're going to see lines. You can see many lines here, but those lines to me are kind of important based on support, but how I'm looking at it on bigger time frames. So the reason this ticker was called today, I want you to kind of pay attention to how this K is. Remember how I was kind of mentioning to you guys that if K that if K, the way you print, right? Remember how I was telling you that candles print a new candle every single market opens. This is an example that I'm showing you that the daily K will update either the up or the down after market opens. So if you get a K up, the K becomes that update of a bullish day because it updates what every single market opens. So if you get a D update and market open down, you're going to get a continuation of what? Bearish day. So what I'm saying is you can notice here it goes into K, goes into D. Then it updates one, bearish. Updates again here, bearish. Today was updating up, bullish. But why would I was looking at it? I actually looked at that, right? I saw a market open. I was like, okay, this thing is pointing up on the daily, catches my interest. But let's go back here to 4 hours. 4 hours, if I zoom out, let's get in here. If I zoom out 4 hours, you're going to notice that we're sitting on a reset. We're attacking the oversold. We're attacking the reset of the momentum. Why would we attack this? We attack this because what you get is an upward trend action. You don't want to attack the heat. That's not the smart way. You know, you don't want to be that kind of person that you want to chase this price. Eventually, if you wait in time, like I said, remember, I didn't even alerted OCGM, but it's been long-term position. But when it comes to accumulation, it's been alerted, you know, on this position of action, which is running 9, running 10, reversing. And so far, for the past accumulations, if you look up OCGN, OCGN, the alerts, and also the exits, you're gonna notice that it's being profitable every single entry and exit. So right now, what we're doing is waiting in this action, which is yes, it does not take 1 day or 2. Sometimes it can take 3 days. Because if we go here, look, we're gonna start here on this reset. This, if you look at the time, this is May 12th. We're sitting when? May 14th. This is 12, 13, 14. That's 3 days. So no, 2 days, right? Yeah, I'm tripping. Okay, so 2 days. So you got 2 days of action, which could have, you know, tricked you here that anytime it can turn back on. No, by the time it turns back on, you want to see at least halfway mid up action. You want to see this. You want to see at least over 55, because if it's over 55, that's giving you a good potential that it's already in an uptrend. But they can still be a consolidation of the same price. So what I'm saying is, even this, you see, you accumulate the same price, you ran heat all the way to 10 something. So this action can even bring it up to 9, 10. And what happened if I even a better squeeze? Because if we go deeper, like I said, you get a reset almost of daily. And based on these candles are strong. They got huge price difference. I'm talking about, if you go here, look, a low of 761 to a high 986. And if we go to see this float, it has a 193 float, but look at the volume, 43 volume. It picks up a lot of volume by day. And this is just a regular day. And then what I'm talking about, if I go to daily, I'm going to print here the volume day by day. This, okay, let's click in the chart. This was 41 million, which I just showed you today that it passed through for this candle daily. And this one was, look at this candle, 53 million. Look at this one, 65, 67, 117, 90. That's a huge amount of orders. This is like people are just getting ready for the bullish market. This action here is going to be what? And this is a kind of, you know, that's what I'm saying. We're going to get our 20. And based on this action can be like, it's doing this. Okay, you know, like doing a little dance, doing this. And when the bullish market comes, we get, you know, okay, we were supposed to get that, but you get the point. This is kind of deleted, but, you know, it goes zigzag and then it goes up. That is kind of the idea of this potential when the bullish market comes, because right now what this is like, you know, whenever you're attacking 1 minute resetters of BWAP, What are you doing? You're attacking the, the potential setup, the intentions, and all that. So what we're doing here is attacking the intentions. What is the intentions? The intentions are the dips or resets, right? You, sorry. You don't want to attack the heat. That's not the smart idea. You want to attack the reset, which is, look, beautiful reset at a higher low. Last time it was stuck for a while and it was 516. Now we're sitting with strong amounts of volume in this area of buying candles with a strong reset. But not just that. I want to show something to you guys here and girls for the OCGN. And you're going to be like, okay, it makes sense. Let me delete this. And remember how I told you, the way daily candle moves weekly, when it's daily, you get an update when every market opens. Whenever it's weekly, when did you get an update of weekly for K? Let's go to weekly here. You get an update. You see how it's going all the way down, the way price fell, meaning that you get a downtrend weekly for a whole week from Monday to Monday. Monday market opens to Monday market opens. So what I'm saying is, if this week has been down, that's the reason we have had a bearish movement for OCGN. Friday's today. Monday market open starts a new week, right? So what are the chances that this week, since it's down, and you notice that it loves to zigzag. It loves to go up, down in price. So what I'm saying is, next week, even if it's K coming into D, that still can bring the price back back to over $10, because weekly the way it's moving. But we're not even just focused here on just weekly. Let me explain to you monthly. Monthly, you see here, it's zigzagging way even differently. If you're gonna notice that month of May, it does it every month, right? You got the 3, March, and then you got April 4th, which is go to the corner, and you're gonna see its high was $13. The low was $5.24. If we go here, you're gonna notice that the high was $14, the low was $5.85. And if we go here, the high was $16, the low was $7.61. So what are the chances is that if May, a K is coming into D, that's where we're getting the flush. So we're gonna zoom in here into the candles. You see these candles, green, it's just beautiful. Look, green, red, green, red, green, red. Guess what happens on June? We get green. So that is that's the prediction based on ours, fundamental, but just not that, just technical analysis of what the momentum and the FETO is doing. So if it's green, that's what I'm saying. If it's zigzagging, we're gonna have the green, black. Red, green, red, green, red. So if it's the red, this next candle of June in the when the bullish market comes here after June, what are the chances that it can even around $20 and fill this huge candle up? So, because if we zoom out here a little bit more, you can notice that he got a higher high of many attempts, and the many attempts were to this area of what? Look, you got 1, 16, you got another one 17, you got this one 20, and you got this one of 18. So there's a chance that we can get another 18, 19, and 20. But that's going to be on based on momentum and how when daily's on heat, weekly's on heat, 4 hours on heat, you exit. And it's going to be smart that in between that month, you want to exit and just later avoid, take your profit and move on to the next potential that you can make money on. So remember, you wait, you make your investment in the longer term. So overall, this ticker, I want to kind of break it down based on oxygen in the long term. So today, as I say, let me break it down here again. This is where's market opens. Let's see. We had the action. Okay. Whenever you start dipping, remember how I was alerted. I'm gonna start dipping here at 8:30, right? Oh, let me add Mary here. Okay, so I was like at 8:30, I'm gonna start dipping. Average for the potential running 9. So what I'm trying to say is we don't even sell. We don't try to sell until when? Because if this is the reset, why would you want to dip here and sell here? That is not the idea. The idea is kind of, that you wanted to sell into the heat. This is your area to sell. This is your area to buy. And you continue the same plan. You sell. You buy. You buy and you sell. You buy and sell, right? The same kind of different. So what I'm saying is whenever you start buying, if you want to throw your, I mean, there's another good thing that I want to talk about. I just hope not many people are trying to, go in fully with their accounts. If you have, for example, $100, you don't want to put the whole $100 into just one ticker and expect to do something, or just, that's just in $100 account. I know many people have bigger accounts, so they have a lot of more money to, break down into tickers. But for example, $100, if you can break that into $30, a percentage of 10% is probably going to be like $3, right? But if you put it 1%, it's going to be probably, or 2%, it's going to be like a few cents. But for example, if you are trying to let's just say trade mini tickers, you have to constantly be right or predict right about tickers. It's basically how you're doing things. So what I'm saying is, if you put if you trade a ticker, don't try to look for money, because if you're trading and mentally trying to get ready, you want to make sure that you're using a small account, because emotionally it's not easy to kind of control the emotion of having a big account. Think about, if you put in $10,000 and you start seeing, as soon as you go in, you start seeing negative 100, negative 150. That's gonna hurt your feelings a lot. So, long story short is, um, start small, where you can let your emotions be affected a little bit. Even, losing $3, $4, you're like, man, this trade is not even working for me. Why is it not working? You constantly can start noticing that you are losing $2, $3, $2, $3, but you're not making money. So that's gonna help you improve emotionally, because you're not losing 100, 300, 300. You get me? That's a lot of money when you start training, um, when you start learning how to trade. So long story short is, if you're trying to learn how to trade, is start small, improve, navigate, and then start making money. If you can start seeing results, then you can start making, leveraging up, using more money to make more money. So so what I'm trying to say is, practice with what you can. A little bit of, when, percentage counts. If it's 10%, you're gonna notice that it's probably $3. But whenever you're using, let's say, $10,000, 3% is gonna, or 5% or 10% is gonna be a nice, you know, $2,000, $1,000, 800, 400. And if you're making 800, $400 just by just dipping and then dipping and selling at the nice, levels of exits, that's gonna help you to be able to repeat that the next day. So what you need to do is, like I say, you have to practice those emotions. It's okay. I'll be able to. This is recorded, so we're gonna try to. I'll be able to put it down into the YouTube for everyone to see. But so what I was trying to say is, so when it came to OCGN, um, I called this a reset because we were on a reset, but not just that, we were on a 4 hours reset, right? We were on a 4 hours nice consolidation to start going building bullish, and that's what we ran. It did its thing. I even alerted here in the VIP thread. I alerted to many of you guys and girls that I was like, hey, LCGN is reversing, and that was alerted at 8:40. It's sitting in 870. Look, it's even say, I mean, 868. That would have been a nice 40 cents for anyone who wanted to, dip. Anyways, like I said, I'm always there to ask you or to answer your questions. So long story short is, let's pretty much see that I want to break down the big tickers. What's happening with the market now? And then we're going to move into crypto. Let's see what crypto's doing too. I'm curious what Dodge is doing. It's supposed to be moving right now. But do we have crypto here? Ah, I forgot. I got the old school Weevil, so I do not have the new version. 5526. That's not bad. Oh my god, this volatility right here. This is strong buying power. That's gonna run that 75 easy. Look at this. We just need to recover this for today into Sunday. I mean, into Sunday, into Saturday. If we can recover this into a little bit higher of 5860, You know, sometimes I could be a little wrong. So we're gonna try to see if we can probably go over 55 and update the next day in the next Sunday to be bullish and continue this 4 hours into a bullish mode. So, okay. So for now, let's talk about the market. The market. I'm gonna show you something, and I want you kind of, let's see if we can show. Okay, CTRM. That's one. We're gonna show here an example of what it's doing right now and what the market condition is. And I want to explain something that right now. So give me 1 second. So when it comes to the market, I'm going to kind of, this is something I even experienced for the first time because last year it wasn't this heavy. So, it hurt my feelings a little bit because it was kind of heavy this year. And I wasn't expecting because, I mean, think about it. I'm about to show you the pattern that many tickers have, not just one, but many. Pretty much the whole market does. So, which is kind of obvious to see that what we're expecting is a turnaround in those time frames, and I'm gonna kind of go over that right now. Of what I mean by that. Okay, so I'm gonna go over this one, which is CTRM. Let's go to weekly, monthly. It's doing its thing, bullish, but weekly. You see this weekly? If I were to zoom out here on the weekly, this is just one. And I'm about to show you many more. That you're going to notice that this pattern here, it's what's pretty much driving. Yes, it's pretty much driving the whole price of these pennies down. So we're going to go down here and look at this downtrend. You see how close that K is to D? That is not letting it even do no pops, no A out of nowhere. Boom, we get 60 or something. There's no way for K to even cross D and make a huge price change because they're like kissing each other. They're just like, we're going down together every single week, bro. So when it comes to this, it's kind of like look at the CTRM, it still has room to go more down, right? We're still not done. So what I'm saying is by the June, this is weekly. So we got two more weeks to updates and probably goes up. Let's see where daily's at right now. If we zoom out, okay, daily's in a it's in a oversold. So it's in a reset. So we go weekly, meaning that this thing can potentially reverse in that daily reset. If it's double bottom reset and we have a weekly oversold and June comes in, there's a good chance that we can end up having, a bullish market for a bullish run for this ticker. So what I'm saying is this is just based on pennies because remember, this is also has the list where it can be delisted if it doesn't claim $1. So that could be in the running the risk that I seen tickers just automatically just go whoosh, disappear. So they disappear and they're the list and they don't even let no one know about it, I think. So other than that they're under that rule. Also, I'm not, like I said, they can run an RS, which is reverse split, and they'll save themselves from they'll be over $1, and then they'll print the price action, making it seem like they ran the price that it did. So long story short, this is just like I said, you see this weekly downtrend. This is why you constantly are getting a weekly to week downtrending momentum, but not just momentum, but also price. If I were to show you here, you see this is the heat. I remember I was mentioning this is something that we it was a first because I didn't get this. Look, we didn't get this 2020 all the way. We didn't get none of this move. Actually, we did get huge moves. Look at these huge moves. It happens. He has to run easy 70s, 40s. No, it was stuck for a while. Let's see. Almost a whole year. Oh, this area run to something. Okay, but then 2020. So for 7 months, it was stuck in the 17, but it still ran pretty high throughout the year. So also, how fast it's dropping. That's another key. The faster it drops, the better, because that's how faster you get your resets. If it starts zigzagging like this, you eventually wouldn't even know when you're going to get your reset until eventually start accumulating the area, which is what happened here. It starts squeezing up market on pre-market. I mean, I'm sorry, bear market came in, made it strong, and they got the resets coming in. So overall, we pretty much, let's say we wrote all this, the whole weekly, but we haven't had this. Look at this. There was no movement since 2019 as big as this. But based on this, you could have noticed also that the volume is also has been a lot, 200 billions, millions. So that's just pretty much showing, there's a potential to reverse and bring price back to $81, because what it ran here was a total of, see, 90 cents, $2, 195. So if it can run 195, it can at least run $1 just based on CTRM. See you later. Now let's see staff. There's another one. I just want to match the pattern. You're gonna notice here, some have a smooth, some have it in a zigzag way. But you're gonna notice there's a downtrend. That's another one. Let's go into another one. And you're going to notice, you see, downtrend. Let's go into another one. These are the main pennies. You see this? Perfect downtrend. Again. And this is within the RS split. There's no way that the RS split was going to even save this ticker. It was already in the downtrend. The only way that this RS was going to save this ticker is if they probably would have been smarter and done it when the weekly high would have reset it. But if they did it right now, there's no point. It just doesn't make sense. It just brought their tickers even down, but probably even cheaper to buy. So we can expect a reset reversal here in when the bullish market comes, which is obviously bullish, bearish, bullish. So we're going to get our bullish markets. Let's see if we can go into another one. What else do we got here? See, even ATOS. This one's a tricky momentum. You see, we recovered midway. Why did it recover midway? Let's go to monthly. You see monthly, K coming into D, boom, goes back up. That is why weekly recover midway, because sometimes you're going to notice that even daily recover midway. But why did it recover midway? Is because weekly came into D on weekly to just bounce up. So that's giving the chance to momentum to be respectful on weekly. So now, who do we respect here with ATOS? We respect monthly. What is monthly showing us? It's showing us that it could run what? What was previous price? You see all this consolidation here. This is a channel. It's not even like running intentions or nothing. It's just a channel. This channel becomes a huge move. I bet you if I were to put this move here, you're going to notice that this move was in after June into January. If I were to show you this move, same thing, and it's going to be February into June. If there was a bearish market, so pretty much let's go here and point, and you go into let's go inside and kind of investigate a little bit more, so we can confirm that what I say without you guys seeing it, that I was kind of right. So me here, okay. The time is here. Remember, like. This is, remember how we were getting that bearish market, and then August and June plus into the holidays, which is June, May, July, August, September, which is Halloween, November, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and so on, which is people are looking to, spend money on those holidays, which is, for people like to give presents and stuff like that. So long story short is this accumulation here becomes a potential of entry for the bullish market. December, January, February, and it goes up. And this right here, just on March, it runs all the way to $7, and then it just becomes bearish into the same month. and then it does the same thing, running the same. Look right here, you see how it becomes March, and then it goes April, May, June, July, August, September, running September, August, right here, all the way to $5. Then becomes bearish, and then running bullish against into Feb, which of 2020. So that right there alone would, still show you the opportunities of exits and potential. So right now, what it's showing is based on these buyers, we're setting up to run up again into $4, $7, $5 when the bullish market comes, because monthly is going up. So now let's see if we can find another one. Where's the other one? ACT to scout. This is another one. As you can notice, I think this one follows the. You see how this is another example. Oh, my throat. You're gonna have momentum that is messy. You're gonna have momentum that is smooth. You're also gonna have momentum that is uptrending, downtrending fast, and you're gonna have momentum that is zigzagging, up zigzagging, or down zigzagging in a way, and or a messy way. So let's just say the FETSO is not just one type of patterns that you will remember today, remember tomorrow. You will probably get a pattern today, and we'll get a pattern that you will probably won't see until like 5 days later or 2 days later, until you start constantly seeing the way the FETSO moves, how K moves into D. And that's pretty much, like I say, it's my job to kind of help you guys to advance in. Because another thing, candles matter. Candle means that volatility, you have to be able to break down how a ticker moves based on float, volume, and candle intentions, higher highs, FETSO, and the RSI oversold. And which is, you're going to notice is, yeah, it's a lot. This one's 40 float, picks up 863K volume by day. Let's see how much volume picked up yesterday. Picked up yesterday 6 million. I can see why, because it created a dip. So that dip created a huge intentions for that dip opportunity to, buy cheaper. This 21 million. So overall, this ticker, what it's doing is, look at, you see it's weekly. Monday, which is coming up, market open should be updating to go where? Up. Let's go to daily. Daily, look at this beautiful daily. Where was price dropping while this daily was resetting? Nowhere. That is showing such a strong strength for what? For more. Based on who? On weekly, because the way it's moving is it can cross down, go up, cross down, and still run a higher high. But why is this messy? This is another key for you guys, especially for the ones that have been made it this far, is that you want to make sure that if something is messy, you don't have to depend on that. What you'd want to depend is on what is smoother, right? Like what's more smooth uptrending and what's better downtrending. What's being like what's respecting K on D and what's up and what's respecting K on D down. So let's pretty much, if you can notice that this is messy, let's go up. You meaning that if something's messy, you need to go up in time frames. Let's go to monthly. You're going to notice that what is monthly here is smooth uptrending. But look what K is doing on May. It's coming, because look, April 30, and when did this K updated? It updated on May the 1st. What is this May 1st showing? It's showing a price down. And this is why it's kind of like, starting to build a bull flag, but not just a bull flag. It's starting to kind of, build these candles to potentially run like this, run higher levels. And it's just showing that buyers are in the area and they're buying every single drop, because the potential here and the demand of higher time frames, it's an uptrend. So if we go to quarterly, even quarterly, see, we're in a reset on quarterly. What are the chances the quarterly? I mean, the quarterly can even run into a even bigger move. So that's just one example. Same thing for this one. Sometimes, like I say, they're long-term holds. You see how this smooth this weekly is? Let's click on this one. And you're going to notice here how we have a lot of green and a lot of red. So this, when did this started? We're in the weekly time frame here. This started January, went into March, and then it started, consolidate here. But remember, this was 2020, right? And then consolidate the area. And then look, June, August, January, boom, same kind of like, let's say, date that he started running the upper bullish move, and then he went 721. So now it's respecting this perfectly smooth downtrend momentum that you're going to notice that, yes, we're so close that even these wicks are showing that they're starting to be buyers in the area of accumulating this reset. You're not trying to accumulate one single entry and just let me, put all my eggs in one basket, how they say. You pretty much what you're trying to do is, if you're going in with 100 shares and you're accumulating on weekly, you want to go in, let me go 10 shares this week, let me go 10 shares next week, let me go 10 shares next week, and so on. You go into your third week, you probably got 90 shares or 80 shares in, and he's just barely starting uptrend. If he starts uptrend already, then you just, start putting in more and just let it ride. And what I mean by let it ride is heat. You let it run the heat area. If this is here and you enter in this area, you're going to wait a couple, like weeks to be able to be a long-term investor. But not just that. I'm not talking about, if $100 all you can afford is fine. But if you can put like more money into this, basing on the momentum that is uptrending, that could eventually become a long-term investment. And like like Dodge, like crypto and all this, because they're all pushing based on momentum that is weekly and monthly, and all this being such a bullish momentum, the market is bearish. And that's why crypto is running and the market is not. The market is the opposite, because eventually what's going to happen is crypto can end up becoming bullish with the market, or crypto can end up being bearish and the market can end up being bullish. So that's just going to be just based on June. And how's crypto setting up though? Crypto K on monthly, I believe that is coming into D. So if May K comes into D, that means that June becomes a bullish crypto. And there's a good chance that even crypto can end up running an all-time high for Bitcoin. And that's just on the way the monthly time frame is moving, but not just the time frame of monthly, but the quarterly and yearly. Those are just bullish, meaning that we even had the potential to even make this thing run a whole year and be bullish for a year, because the yearly or the quarterly time frame, it's bullish. So what I'm saying is how the time frame is moving, how the market is moving. You can obviously see why someone is bullish and why the market is bearish, which is crypto bullish, market bearish, because you got all this down weekly being downtrending. So this is why it's not that, man, why, like, why is he keep dropping, or why is he doing this, or um why is it not stop dropping, when is going to be the end? It's because you have to understand he's not in your way on the weekly. And I'm gonna be honest with you, weekly is not a time frame to mess with. That thing will really destroy your account if you're going against it, but also not destroy it if you're smart enough to give it the chance to do its thing, like literally do its thing, but also know that it's going to reverse your way when it does. Because 1 minute time frame, it goes zigzags up, comes back down, goes up, comes back down. They move like waves. Even for the weekly time frames, you're going to see that he has done his thing before. Look, the low $3 has moved all the way to 454, but guess what? It's been on heat while being at 454. So your potential is that I'm gonna get out here 454 because he's on heat. And guess where it comes down to? It comes all the way to 252. So you're already sitting on low because you didn't exit the heat, even though it was sitting at the same price. You need to be able to exit even if the momentum is giving you an a heat level, and it's sitting at the same price, don't expect more exit at that price, because that's what the heat level is giving you. And it's not just the heat level, it's just how the demand and the buyers and sellers is kind of like, you know, producing the movement of the ticker of the demand and momentum. So even this price, look, it went to $6. Look at this run, came all the way to 382, 254, and it wants to run $6 just on this weekly, right? And then you exit there again, and you wait on the reset. Look, right here in this momentum is about to kind of start crossing. You will enter 192, goes back to 164, and then it wants 254, consolidate that area. I'm talking about if you're willing to wait for this price to, not sure if it's going to be that long for you to wait, but overall it runs 195, and just putting you in a bit little profit, depending, if you were waiting on that. So, but overall, let's say this, even this thing ran here 139, and then it went into 195, right? But 195, was it was a heat weekly. So that means that was still your exit for 195. Now you have to wait for the weekly to reset again and run correction, so you can exit again when he runs that price again. So let's see what one of my friends here is saying. How are you deciding which time frames to exit on if weekly is bullish but 4 hours is remaining to heat cross the daily? I pick up the exit based on 4 hours. So for example, remember 4 hours. Okay, yeah, that's a really good question, because how 4 hours is doing, I want to explain to you guys here. 4 hours is not a joke. That thing does not update every 4 hours, which is that's what I thought I believed, which is, daily every day, and then weekly every week on Mondays, monthly every first on Monday, and then so on. But 4 hours moves differently. 15 minutes is every 15 minutes, 30 minutes every 30 minutes. 4 hours is okay. It starts at market open and then updates at 12:30, right? So market opens to 12:30. Yes, that's 4 hours. And then it goes to and he updates again at after hours. But if you think about it, after hours, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, that's only 2 hours so far. And then it goes 30 minutes. So 2 hours and 30 minutes, the 4 hours candle updates again. So, once like the time frame tricks there, where it's not every 4 hours, he updated again at 2:30, in 2 hours and 30 minutes ahead at after hours. So after hours, he updates, I believe, before market hours close, and then he updates again at the 22 or 24. Okay, let me see. Let me see where we're at right here. Yeah, I don't know why I was just explaining and not showing. Let's see where we're at. Okay, this is gonna be what we'll kind of explain to you. 4 hours, 16. This is after, as soon as after hours open, this is 16. So I'm gonna show you. Let's go back here. 8:30, 9:30. That's market opens. New York time is 9:30. My time is 8:30. This is going to give me a New York time of 9:30. So 9:30 New York time, market opens, right? You can notice, boom, 13:30. That is 1 p.m. and 30 minutes. My time is 12:30 because I'm an hour behind. So that updates the candle, right? And then look what happens here. Boom, you get the other one at 16 and after hours again. And what do you get the other one? Boom, you get it at 20, which makes sense, which is 4 hours later, right? But this is where the tricky part again starts. You get the hour, which is 63, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which closes right when market fully closes, when after hours closes. So this is the tricky part comes in. When do you get the next candle? You get it, boom, as soon as pre-market opens, which is 8, and then you get it, which I'm telling you, it's showing here at 8:28. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. Because look, 8:20, you're gonna notice that 8 is going to be 10:30 here. That's an hour and a half difference, right? So this is where it becomes tricky, which is 7 p.m. at 8. Um that means that it ran 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. So that's 4 hours. So it ran 3 in the morning all the way to 7 in the morning, which is that's whenever the 4 hours can starts again. But this is where another tricky part comes in. Boom. It doesn't even update 4 hours later. It updates an hour and a half later again. So you get the next candle. You see how he says 8? Remember, I'm an hour and a half behind. I'm sorry, I'm an hour behind. So this is showing me that if it's 8, my time is 7. So it goes to boom, 8, 9:30. My time is 8:30. Yep. So we're also switching sides, my right guy. So what I'm trying to say here is 4 hours does not move most of the time. It's 4 hours. It updates 1 hour and a half later, 4 hours later, 1 hour and a half later, 4 hours later. So when it comes to exit, you have to understand how it moves, right? If you run a heat, for example, here, if it's heat and it's sitting after hours, you're going to have to understand that, yep, 1 and 1:30, and then my time is actually 12:30, and then it goes into after hours. So okay, so what I'm saying is, if after hours comes in and you know that it's sitting on heat for after hours for next day to become bearish, you want to exit that day, right? And if you want to enter later, you want to make sure that you're on reset, and eventually, even this one, look, this is insane because this it's a total trap. Why was it a trap? Because remember, if I want to attack this, I'm gonna put a line here. Why would I attack this reset? And why wouldn't I attack this reset? Like, what would I avoid? My plan is the way this thing acted is because daily and weekly was probably downtrending, and this is why it kept downtrending with the price. So if we go to daily, you see daily downtrending, straight downtrending, and this is why 4 hours fail. Don't expect to dip the 4 hours if you have a bearish daily. Don't expect to dip a 4 hours if you have a bearish weekly, because if we go to weekly, you're going to notice that you have a bearish weekly. If you want to attack someone that you know that's supposed to be running up, for example, AMC, when I alerted that I was going full on it, you're going to notice that I attacked this ticker because it was downtrending 4 hours, but it was uptrending 4 hours. And that wasn't my main concern. My main concern was that I had daily what? Uptrending beautifully in my favor. Let's do weekly. Weekly uptrending the same way. And this is just the print. Remember, the print right here is showing that it ran 1430. And it has the potential to run $21. Look at the potential that it's setting up for. Long term, easy $20, because we're going to have to accept that the movies are going to come back to normal, and we're going to we're going to pretty much run back to when this happened. Because if you know, like, this happened when this happened 2017. I don't know why. It looks like it was dropping pretty crazy. COVID started in 2019. Okay, so 19. This is not even COVID's fault for them falling so hard. They were even just falling hard because they wanted to fall hard. Anyways, for right now, you had to follow momentum, but by the looks of it, they had some really bad thing going on, that there were sellers going on. Like, there were sellers on this thing. They were not liking this ticket the way it was probably producing their business. But the way it's moving now, buyers are holding price. They're buying, they're holding, and they're pushing price back up to yeah, it looks like there was a lot of issues going in with it because it just kept declining and declining. And then COVID started in 2019, I believe, into December. But this thing was already declining pretty strong before even then. So they had some drama going on with it already before. And so let's see here. Okay, so let's go to crypto now. because remember, this is all going to be recorded, so you're going to be able to go back over this. So if you want to oversee things, dash 56, let's go. Pumping a little upper again. What I think about crypto again, let me explain to you guys about BTC, and I will explain to you guys that the monthly. You can notice K coming down. He has done it before. Look at this move. He has crossed before to come back up. What we have to kind of think is if we go deeper, you're going to notice that K is into D. And if we got monthly coming down, and the monthly is about to end, but not just that, we got weekly down next week, meaning that we come down next week is a bullish up. Let's go to daily. You see what daily is kind of resetting really quick. That's already showing that the buyers are kind of starting to show a good area of accumulation of a channel to start running 64. Because if we have K up and we got weekly up and we got daily reset, you have strong momentum to be bought and push the demand even to a higher level of 65 based on quarterly. But that's just this one. Because if we go to BTC on the weekly, it had done a lot. And then I don't see a smooth up and down picture. So if we go to Dodge, you're going to notice that you have an uptrend weekly. So that's key here. It's the beginning. And if we go deeper, uptrend monthly is strong. This is not even pointing down. It's actually even pointing into a higher level. Quarterly, same thing. 4 hours, strong on uptrend. Buyers, candles, volatility, strong. Daily, area, candles, same thing, strong. Reset, almost there. Remember, weekly, key. We got a weekly, K, up, K, down. K, up, K, down. And it's about to be Friday, Sunday. What happens on Sunday? K moves up. And it becomes a weekly being bullish. And not just this one. We'll go XRP. It's another one, which is you get to notice that it has come down, go up. Next week is an upside. Let's see, monthly. Monthly K is on D. Guess what happens on June? June becomes a bullish market. A bullish run for XRP based on who? Look who we consolidated this channel. Higher lows. The reset was at 93. Next reset is at 136. That is showing the potential to start building intentions into 196. Long-term potential. So this is just, we're basing long terms here on weekly and stuff. But if you want to attack lower time frames, which is fine, because like if we go to here XRP, which we saw many great candles here on weekly and on daily, green, right? You got a green, red, stuff like that. So let's go here into a lower time frame. You got your reset 133, he run 140, reset 136, he run that's running 139 right now, reset 125, heat run 135, reset 124, he run 136. Now, if I were to break this here, this move here, I'm sure to show you is, I'm sure it's a bullish 4 hours. Bullish 4 hours. because we're attacking the bullish 4 hours uptrend in the Fed tool. How 15 minutes is moving. 15 minutes is going to give you higher lows, higher highs, just on a base how 4 hours is being bullish. But now, remember how I said the way K updates on D, if it's up or down throughout the whole explanation, we're going to notice that I'm sure that K is pointing up, and that's the reason the bullish strong being reversed here on the 4 hours. You see, up. Go to weekly, same thing. Weekly also means what I'm saying. This is something that happened with Dodge. Weekly can come here on Wednesday, be here, which is where it came to 122. And I'm sure weekly was all the way to 50. But because, let's say Wednesday, right? Or Tuesday. If the next, let's say Thursday, throughout the same week, it recovers it recovers back to where it's at now, which is 139. The K is going to recover. It's going to be the same K. The K is going to be, he's going to drop as much as it drops to 122, and he's going to reverse back up as much as the price recovers as well throughout the same week. It's why momentum, like I say, moves differently throughout time frames, but it's not something that just, oh yeah, just resets and all this. You have so much, a lot of patterns. So let's go here to BNGO. There's another one, which is you're gonna notice here the weekly. You see how beautiful downtrend, and please respect. And it's not like a bad way, but this weekly downtrend it should be a good thing for many of us, because the way it respects it means that it's about to be our turn. It's about to be bullish. They're about to turn and start running in a bullish way. I know it's declining and still bearish, but that's the reason why. Look how smooth the momentum is. It's not even messy because look, this is messy. You have down, up. This is like, look, this is messy. Being stuck here for so long. But why would this stuck for so long? Let's put a line here. And I'm going to show you here why. It's because you're going to notice that daily, I'm sure, was downtrending. You see how daily was downtrending in this area? You don't want to attack the 4 hours. You want to make sure at least that it turns out. And you have daily and uptrend in your favor. If you have it in your favor, they should be running you bullish and have better reaction to your 4 hours uptrending. Instead of thinking that it's resetting until daily runs, then your reset should be able to run strong and actually push price. Because if we go here, what happened here? I think I messed up there. Okay, but because let's see here with Jelly. Oh, this, yep, Brahim. Oh, I don't even know what ticker I was looking at there. Oh, it was Bingio. Okay. Okay, because you go here, you're going to notice that if I were to put a line there, let me take this one out. Let me put it here. Let me take this one out. And let me put it here. You're going to notice that I'm sure the 4 hours on reset, but it started pushing up price even better. You see, 4 hours resetting and it was uptrending, but with the strength of who? Of daily. Not just that. I go to weekly. You see weekly? For that week, on Monday, K updated up. So if the weekly K updated up, just that little small zigzag is enough to do a weekly bullish move throughout the week or throughout 2 days and then flush throughout the same week or something like that, and then come to a lower low, which is what it did here. Bullish and then run a lower low. Why? Because it's in a bearish weekly. And it's not just this one. Like there's so many that are like on the same bearish. We see this one, source, same thing, bearish weekly is why we're constantly getting a decline and we're not getting the uptrend that we're supposed to be getting. So slowly, it's really just declining and declining price. So what I'm trying to say, long story short, is most of these tickers are not gonna, reverse until the market, reverses, which is on their weekly. And I pretty much showed you is that if the momentum is uptrending in the weekly, you're going to, get a bullish move, then a bearish, but then an over higher high bullish move. But if you're in a bearish weekly, you're going to get a bearish move, higher high. I'm sorry, lower low, and then a lower high, thinking that is reversing, but when it's really not, and it's just pretty much setting up to a lower low. So that's pretty much what he set up, and this is something that I learned, like I said, this year. So it's not like it's brand new, because it is brand new to me at least. But so I guess for now, this is what I kind of wanted to go over. Oh, we got chats here. I didn't even see this. Okay. I'm sorry for not answering your questions here. Okay, iPhone, you still on? Savannah left. I'm answering for Savannah right here and iPhone. Okay. So iPhone, what's the best? Okay, let me answer your first question. How often when Case looking bullish does it actually become bullish? Oh, what I just actually went over then, which is having your daily, weekly bullish and your 4 hours uptrending. So that becomes a strong bullish. If 15 minutes is on reset and K is on D on 4 hours, that is showing that with a bullish manner, that is showing that 15 minutes could react to be a bullish, have higher high push. If your daily 4 hours is being bullish, and this is what I was going trying to go over is your 4 hours, you kind of start understanding that it went to become bullish based on just that. So and then for OCGN, it didn't really just COVID news. It just based, like I just don't follow momentum much, fundamental much. I just follow momentum. So buyers, candles, momentum, demand, and all that. It's pushing price or holding price or showing a good supported price, and now focusing on price as well. So what is the best time frame to see for reset 4 hours? The best time for, like I said, it's to match you. Um, you make sure that the ticker has good volatility. You make sure that the ticker always trading with volume every day. It's not like there's a day that is dried up. So you make sure that it's always moving, even if it's up and down moving. That's fine. If it's up and down moving, that means that next day it's doing repeatable patterns. So you can end up catching that up move because it's moving up and down. So so for 4 hours is you win in your 4 hours, you sell in your heats. Because if you look at the 4 hours, for example, let's see OCGN. If you look at the 4 hours here, you're gonna notice a pattern of up and up and down. You see up $16, down 855. Even this one, yes, it's not a huge price change like this, but this is still a huge run, and that still gave you $10. That exit, and this is remember how I alerted. I did alert this exit. It was like, hey, I'm exiting this because 4 hours is on heat. And I was like 10:45, that's my exit. And then I was like, let's start redipping at an 8. I think eight. No, it was 980. Then it dipped again, and that's whenever I alerted again to dip 9. No, I'm sorry, 8:30 to run 9. So that should be able to put us in profit if it runs $10 again, for sure, because 4 hours is on reset. And then it's not like it's sitting here and price is already on reset in momentum. I'm sorry, if momentum is already on heat. So we're still showing potential for push up into more uptrend, at least to a higher high of $10, 955, 980 into $10. And so once when look at this beautiful once the daily resets, right? We're about to get that daily reset. So this is going to give us a huge potential for that 4 hours to what? To push even higher levels of where? Even this higher level of $11. So that could be some, you know, long-term position move. So for now, this is what I want to kind of go over. Anyone has any questions, please type it down. I'll be able to answer it now. I got my chat up. Yes. When I'm choosing price targets, I'm choosing like daily higher highs or 4 hours higher highs. Like if you see what I'm posting a 4 hour screenshot, you're going to notice that my price target is usually the higher high of that 4 hours. So and why is because if momentum is running price heat, there's two ways that heat can end up to. It's a lower high or a higher high. But if momentum runs into a lower high, you're going to know, be like, okay, this is my time to exit. Let me exit here because it's a lower high. I'm gonna exit here. But if it runs a higher high, you're gonna be like, okay, you run a higher high. I'm about to start exiting because you run a higher high. Because remember, the market goes up, down, and eventually even higher, right? So you have to understand that once you go up and you go down, you can eventually rise some more. But if you're doing long-term time frames, especially these big consolidations area here, you want to make sure you don't want to hesitate your exits. Only like this area, you only don't. You only hold if you have a big time frame. Because if I were to put you, let me show you. If I put you here and here, the reason I would hold this price is because if you go to daily, it's gonna be bullish. You see, this whole area was super bullish. That would have given me to be like, look, I'm gonna hold until daily becomes bearish. Daily becomes bearish. You don't want to hold this because look how much you brought it down to. But now we're on a reset. We're talking at the right times for us to start running profit again. Because 4 hours and daily reset should be, moving price back up. And yes, like for example, let's see, Oxygen. Let's go to monthly. You see how monthly has that many attempts here? This is back in 2019. So this is my intentions here. You got one, you got two. When the bullish market comes, which is you got a bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. Next becomes, high potential to become a bullish month. And what if the chances of this bullish becoming a higher high of 17.55 into $20? So this is why I usually do go back forth, because my higher high potential is this attempts, which is 16, 17, 16, 17, and over 16, and the same thing here. So my PT will be, I will rather lock over $16. Yeah, this consolidation is just a start, but like I said, a long investment. But this is something that I also learned just recently. Is how the market behaves. Um, I was able to finally understand how weekly and daily moves. I'm not going to lie to you. The last year was kind of difficult. I was just focusing one time frame or something like that. But now it's like it's really getting clear to me, like, especially for how the market's been behaving, having these weekly downtrendings and then having the daily fail and then having the daily run heat. But all it does is daily runs to heat, but cake goes into D on weekly, and then it goes into bearish again, and then it fails, and then you got it 4 hours bullish, and it reacts better when daily's bullish, and then it's bearish, and it reacts stronger bearish when daily's bearish, and it just so many things. But I was able to have a clear picture just on this downtrend alone, how the market moves down. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that is what I expected when it moves up. But when it moves up, is going to be better because you can even catch a bad entry and still end in profit because overall, bigger time frames are bullish. It's not like you catch a bad entry in a bearish market. If you catch a bad entry, you're going to get caught into an even deeper and deeper and deeper fall. So when you're in a bullish market, you can catch a bad entry, and potentially if you wait, you're going to end up in a large amount of profit. Depending on this big time frames. So it makes a huge difference what kind of behavior you are attacking, which is what I learned this year. Is just that you don't want to go against the market of bearish behavior or the bullish, or like if you go bullish, then go deep. If you go bearish, go deep with the bearish. You can go against it because you will the demand is just gonna knock you out, But that was the first for me for this year. It reacted pretty deep. If you go back in history, you're gonna notice that it wasn't even dropping that much last year or 2 years ago. It just happened this year. So it's pretty crazy. Anyway, team, this is gonna be all for today. Anyone has any question, please type it now, and I'll be able to answer you guys in chat. This is gonna be for today, I guess. And I'll be seeing everyone tomorrow. No, tomorrow Saturday. So Monday. Yep. Have a good night, team, and I'll see you guys. Like I say, Monday. I will be posting my Sunday watch. Some of the Sunday watch have been good so far. MOX6 run price even $9. Nothing was alerted at $5.90. So over $4 in profit. And I think Recon actually even ran price too. Recon ran PT, and he ran it in pre-market, and then he flushed it. But PT was there, and entry was right before it even ran that pre-market price. So it was another winner. And BTN should be running back because he has a strong daily reset. So keep an eye on that. And I will be posting some strong volatilities again, tickers this coming Sunday, and then from there we go on. So have a good night, team, and I'll see you guys Monday.